Welcome to another session of VIP series for ICSE 10th. Today we are going to get started with the Union Legislature. I am Ankana, your master teacher for social sciences at Vedant, hoping all of my dear students are doing absolutely fine and amazing. So people, I have received a very positive response on the VIP series, and thank you so much for all your love and all your affection and all the encouragement that I have received through the comment section of the previous session. Keep those love and comments coming. It just makes me really motivated. And yeah, so let's get started with your today's chapter. So let's just quickly look at the marks distribution for this chapter. So guys, total number of questions that you are expecting, that you must be expecting out of this chapter is around 6 to 7 questions for 13 to 14 marks, right? So 6 to 7 questions will be holding up a value of 13 to 14 marks. If we look at the division, we are expecting 1 marker questions around 3 to 4 questions, 3 marker 2 questions, and 4 marker 1 question. This is an estimation. 1 mark can be between 3 to 4, so that is what makes 13 to 14 and 6 to 7 questions respectively. So yeah, that's pretty much how Union Legislature is going to look like in terms of your, marks distribution in your question paper. Now let's quickly get started and discuss the answers. So we'll start with 1 marker questions. Okay? So the very first question is, what is the normal term of the Lok Sabha? Bacha, everyone knows this question is going to answer you whenever elections happen. What is the interval if there is no sudden collapse of the government or anything as such? In a normal scenario, what is the term that what is the difference in between which the elections happen? So we know that every election has a gap of 5 years, right? So 5 years would be your normal term of the Lok Sabha. So 5 years is your answer. Okay. So 5 years, the normal term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. Now let me quickly change my pen color because it's not very visible. Yeah. How are the Rajya Sabha members elected? Bacha, we have discussed this. Rajya Sabha election does not happen directly. Just like president, indirect election for indirect elections for Rajya Sabha members also happen, which basically means, what do you mean by indirect election? The representatives of Lok Sabha who have been directly elected by the citizens, they are responsible for the election of Rajya Sabha members. So what it exactly happens is that the members of Rajya Sabha from each state are elected by the elected members of the Legislative Assembly. Okay, that is the lower house of the state. So for each state, we actually have people from Rajya Sabha. This is done by the means of proportional representation called the single transferable voting system. So this voting system of proportional representation or single transferable voting system I've explained in the Umang series. If you have not watched the videos, do go and watch it so that you get a clarity on what this is. Another 1 marker question. State the meaning of the term question hour. So we have done this already. Bacha, this is basically the first hour of your session. Okay, or also known as the 0 hour. This is the hour which has been dedicated to questioning, asking questions and answering, right? So basically asking questions and answering in terms of what are you doing, what are the new policies, why has this been done, the opposition questioning the ruling party questioning the opposition, everyone, all the members of the Parliament, the House are supposed to question to each other and everyone is supposed to answer. This is in terms of maintaining the transparency and, imparting the information whatever is required, which ultimately maintains the essence of democracy. It usually starts at 11 a.m. in the morning, okay? So the first hour of the sitting in both the houses, okay, the first hour, 0 hour, okay, houses of parliament is allotted for asking and answering questions unless otherwise decided by the speaker. So it is also left up to the speaker, at the discretion of the speaker. If the speaker wants something to be in the different way, then there might be some changes. Otherwise, this is how it is. The hour known as question hour, which usually starts at 11 a.m. So this 1 hour is just for asking and answering questions. So very literal. Now next we are going to look at 3 mark questions. So here is your first question. Why is Rajya Sabha called a permanent house? What do you mean by permanent? Permanent is something that cannot go anywhere, right? So what happens with Lok Sabha? So let's quickly look at the difference. Lok Sabha, bacha, after it finishes its term, so 5 years, gets dissolved, right? So Lok Sabha has a term of 5 years. After 5 years, naturally, when the new elections are happening and new Lok Sabha is going to be formed, it gets dismissed, right? Now, when this gets dismissed, how will the country function? Something has to come into the picture. Rajya Sabha comes into the picture at that time and takes control. Okay, but naturally, Rajya Sabha also must be getting dismissed at some time, but that does not happen. Why? Because the Rajya Sabha elections does not happen directly. It has indirect elections, right? Indirect elections are there. So what happens whenever Lok Sabha is getting dismissed, they are coming in. Also, the term for the people of Rajya Sabha is not 5 years, actually 6 years. So it parallelly cannot go on the changes with the Lok Sabha. Whenever Lok Sabha is getting dismissed, the people of Rajya Sabha are also not retiring or not finishing their term. That's number one. Number two, what happens? Indirect election is happening. So after 6 years, naturally 1/3 of the people of Rajya Sabha, they automatically finish their term. So only 1/3 people leave, 2/3 will always be there in session. So which is making Rajya Sabha the permanent house which never gets dismissed. It doesn't get dismissed. Okay, there always be people in there, unlike Lok Sabha. So the Rajya Sabha is called the permanent house because if the Lok Sabha is dissolved before or any declaration of national emergency, so if it is dismissed or dissolved, the Rajya Sabha becomes the sole de facto or the de jure parliament. That is, it takes over the control of the functions of the parliament, hence it cannot be dissolved. So that makes it a permanent body, right? So that is one reason why it is permanent. After that, each member of Rajya Sabha is elected for terms of 6 years. 1/3 of its total members retire after every 2 years. So what actually happens that if you divide 1/3 is retiring, which means what? 6 years, if you divide in 3 parts, makes it 2 years. So in a gap of every 2 years, 1/3 people retire and 1/3 new people come. So always 2/3 will always be there, right? Okay, chalo, now I hope my camera is in focus because it gets blurred out a lot of times and I'm recording, so I am not very sure. Now let's move on to the next 3-marker question. Explain the term quorum. Now you may have heard your parents saying this because my mother keeps on saying this term a lot. She used to always say that ye quorum to pura karna hi padega, this quorum you'll have to fulfill. So this used to make me think, what is this word quorum? But your quorum is the basic requirement, okay? So it basically means the basic, or I would say the minimum requirement. Whatever is the basic requirement that has to be fulfilled. Utna to hona hi hai, that at least has to be there. That is the quorum. Now, what is this quorum in context of? So, whenever the sessions are of the parliament, when the houses are in session, a fixed number of people have to be there for the session to begin. Okay, so that is the quorum that has to be fulfilled. If it does not get fulfilled, it can be dismissed. The meeting can be called off. So that is what quorum is. So quorum is the minimum number of members required to be present in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha before a meeting is allowed to begin, right? So as I told you, the minimum requirement. What is the minimum requirement of? People to be present in either of the houses to begin the meeting. So naturally, what will happen if that is not being fulfilled? So the speaker may adjourn the house or suspend the meeting until there is the requisite quorum. If the requisite as in the required quorum, if the required number is not fulfilled, then the meeting can be adjourned or suspended. Now 1/10, now what is the quorum? This is another important. 1/10 of the total member of the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha must be present at the beginning of the sitting of the house, including the presiding officer. So 1/10 is what is the minimum, what is required. So minimum requirement is 1/10 of the total members. Okay. Now mention question number 6, third question of 3-marker question. Mention any 3 qualifications required for a member to be elected to the Lok Sabha. Bacha, number 1, definitely the person has to be a citizen of India. This goes for any government officer. This goes for any political office related to the government. The person has to be a citizen of India. Then of course there is always a age bar. Okay? So age bar is 25 years. Now what is it for president is what you have to tell me. So these are the two conditions, and of course they have to be elected, right? So in order to be chosen as a member of the Lok Sabha, a person must be a citizen of India, be at least 25 years of age minimum. He should have his name in the electoral rolls in some part of the country. But what is electoral rolls? Now this might be a little confusing for you, so I'm coming to this. Electoral rolls means registered as a voter as well. Registered as a voter and participant. If he's not there as a participant, naturally people wouldn't have voted for that person. Then how is that person a member of Lok Sabha? Okay, and then he should not hold any other office of profit under government. This another is a very important point. This you must have seen in president and prime minister's qualification as well. So whenever a person is coming to be a member of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, president, prime minister, COM, whatever, they cannot be holding an office of profit. They cannot be playing a role, any other role, which is also paying them money in any other form of the government of India, in any other institution. Even if they are, what they have to do is they will have to resign that role, and only then they can take up the role of Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, whatever it is. Okay. Except this is for the elected members. I'm not talking about the nominated members. Okay. So with this, I have a quick reminder about the Vedantu Pro subscription, where you get unlimited classes, live quizzes, where you get an opportunity to compete with the students throughout the world, interactive replays with amazing live quizzes even in the replays, premium downloadable content, and in-class doubt solving, tests and assignments, and all the micro sessions and crash courses absolutely free. Where, as you know, the link is given in the description box. It is also pinned in the comment section. You can also go on vdnt.in/YT Pro. So this is the link, this is the code. Guys, do not forget to use the code, because the best news is that all of this is actually going to come at a discount of 50% for on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. The sale is going to be there from 14 Jan to 17 Jan. So please make sure that you are, going ahead and taking up this discount. And if you actually do the calculation, it is going to cost you only 6 rupees and 5.83 rupees for till June 21. I mean, like, what are you saying? This is super awesome. So the link is given in the description box, pinned in the comment section. vdnt.in/YTPro is also where you can go, and the code is AKEPRO. Now 4 marker questions. This is your first 4 marker question, question number 7. Explain any 2 executive powers and any 2 exclusive powers of the Indian Parliament. So we have already seen that Indian Parliament also has multiple powers. So let's first talk about the executive powers. Bacha, the vote of no confidence. This is a very, very amazing feature. I feel a very amazing power. If anybody feels that, hey, this person does not deserve to be here, although they have been elected, but now they don't seem to be practicing things in the most correct way, in the most ethical way, they can pass a vote of no confidence, and then the person has to resign. The COM has to resign. So if the government acts against the constitutional provision, the parliament can be voted out of the office by passing a vote of no confidence against the PM or the ministry. In such a case, the whole ministry has to resign. Even if one person is not correct, because it's a joint responsibility, the entire group has to go. Teamwork, right? Okay, interpellation. The question hour, calling attention notices, and half an hour discussion are some of the devices of the parliament to seek information from the government about its policies and performance. So you can always question them, right? In order to, right to information is what we have. Also, the transparency has to be maintained because it's democracy. So this interpellation gives us the right to ask them on our behalf. The representatives ask the government that what are you doing? What policies are you taking up? If you're spending money over here, is it really giving benefits to the people or not? And so on and so forth. Okay. Okay, now exclusive powers. The Rajya Sabha by a resolution empowers the parliament to make laws with respect to the matter in the state list. And money bills can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha, and upon being passed, are sent to the Rajya Sabha where it can be deliberated on for up to 14 days. Now, Bacha, we are talking about exclusive powers, which means only few powers which are there with Lok Sabha. See, we have already discussed this in this session that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are pretty much the same. The lower house and upper house are only in terms of the name. It doesn't really mean that the upper house has more power and the lower house is less, or any of the other houses is more powerful than the other. But definitely there are certain powers which are, invested in the Lok Sabha, which makes it a little ahead of the Rajya Sabha, which are these exclusive powers. Moving on to the next 4-mark question. Write a short note on the Speaker of the Lok Sabha with respect to his or her election. So, Bacha, the speaker is the presiding officer. You remember we said that 1/10 of the member have to be at least present in order to fill the quorum, out of which the one is also the presiding officer. So, basically the speaker. So, this 1/10 includes the speaker as well, right? So, the speaker is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. He conducts the business of the house. He looks at the administration and everything. He is elected from among its own members soon after the newly elected house meets for the first time. Yani ki, which means that the new Lok Sabha, which is in session, they will actually elect one of their member as the speaker. Now he remains in the office till a new speaker is elected by the new Lok Sabha. Obviously, if he is not replaced by a new Lok Sabha, if the same Lok Sabha, let's say, continues for the next session also, then probably the speaker may remain same, or they would want to have a newer speaker. But if the new Lok Sabha is there, then the new speaker comes in and he remains in office till he is replaced by the new speaker. Now his term of the office is 5 years. He can seek re-election any number of times. Guys, anyone in India in general can seek re-election, but given the condition that he is re-elected. The people are voting for him. If number of votes are received in good amount, then the person comes in power. Okay. If he is elected as the member of Lok Sabha. So that is about the speaker and that is about the session. So we are done with today's session. Thank you so much for being here. I think Union Legislature is one of the most simple chapter. It does have a lot of facts into it, but it does not have a lot of complicated theories to understand. I think that makes it a little easier. Facts you can process and remember. Theories, if you don't understand, gets very confusing. Yeah. So guys, with this, we are done with today's session. Do not forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the session and these questions were helpful for you. Also, make sure to share this with your friends so that it helps them revise their sessions, their chapters as well. And I will see you guys very soon. Also, guys, make sure to stay subscribed to the channel. If you've not already subscribed, hit that bell button right now, so that whenever a new session is coming, you're getting the notification. We're going to keep coming with the VIP sessions. So stay tuned, stay home, stay safe, have a great evening, and I will see you guys very soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.